Hello and welcome to the channel. The Yorubas and the Igbos had their clash during the March 18 governorship poll. Even though that fight is quieting down at the minute, the Yorubas are trying to reignite that feud with the Igbos by exploiting the recent social media fighting between renowned Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka and the Obedient movement. Nigerians like violence, I swear. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Obedience, insults, bullying are examples of tyranny, intolerance Soyinka fights against, says Pan Yoruba Group. The attacks on Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka by supporters of Peter Obi deliberately target Yoruba heritage, a group Think Yoruba First said at the weekend. The group said the driving force behind the Obidients movement is nothing but irredentist Igbo fundamentalism fueled by hate, lack of culture, avarice, and incredible disregard for democratic culture. In a statement signed by the group's General Secretary, Dr. Bukola Adeniji, Think Yoruba First identified Soyinka as one of the few men of honor not afraid to say the truth and ready to defend democracy and basic human rights in Nigeria and across the world. It condemned attempts by Obi supporters to promote Igbo supremacy theory motivated by false history, arrogance, and a savage passion for ceaseless acts of aggression. The Think Yoruba First organization is constituted of Yoruba professionals at home and in the diaspora. The group said Yoruba people are being pushed beyond the elasticity limits and will henceforth adopt the philosophy of proportional response to deal with alleged Igbo bullying and ethnic profiling of Peter Obi, having been defeated at the February 25th presidential poll. The attacks on Soyinka show a high level of immorality and the uncultured pastime of a group of neo-liberal fascists who detest basic tenets of democracy and human liberty, the group said. In his usual frank method, Professor Soyinka spoke the truth about the anti-democratic actions of the members of the Obidients movement, who have largely morphed themselves into neo-liberal fascist movements. It argued that Nigeria's fragile democracy was largely built on the sacrifice of Yoruba activists who fought with courage against colonialism beginning in the 19th century. According to the group, the activists also confronted military rule and feudalism, all of which tend to stunt Nigeria's rise to global fame. The group cited the contributions of Bishop Ajayi Crowther, who translated the Holy Bible from English into Igbo, and the free education and free healthcare program initiated by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, which forced many Igbo to flee their villages in search of greener pastures in Lagos, as some of the goodwill extended to Igbo but not appreciated. Through music, art, and literature, the Yoruba have been known for a culture of resistance against evil. In the past 200 years, our forebears have fought all forms of repression at a very high cost, including deaths. The Think Yoruba First said those attacking Soyinka lack a sense of history and are not driven by logic and common sense. Our king conjured spirit of Yoruba in the bitter struggle against the annulment of the 1993 June 12 election, when Chief MKO Abiola's mandate was stolen by the rogue military government of Nigeria. The enormous insults, bullying, intimidation, and defacement of the revered hardcore Yoruba intellectual and world icon by the Obidients movement are the classic examples of the tyranny and intolerance which Professor Soyinka has fought against all his life. She said, Soyinka is just one out of many Yoruba icons that the Obidients movement has attacked in their savagely overzealous campaign for their desired presidential candidate, Peter Obi, who was decisively defeated in the last Nigeria presidential election. The neo-fascist Obidients movement attacked the integrity of the father of post-military democracy in Nigeria, Chief MKO Abiola. This is another great Yoruba icon that was the target of Obidient campaign of calumny. It condemned the supporters of Obi for insulting many notable Yoruba icons including the Oni of Ife and great Fela Kuti. According to her, they proceeded to tear into the fabric of Yoruba unity by seeking to rubbish the Yoruba identity. She said, many obedient social media influencers were empowered to target the Yoruba identity, including attacks on Yoruba women, in which Yoruba mothers were described as dirty and undesirable to Yoruba men who are allegedly chosen to marry non-Yoruba women over them. All these actions of prominent obedience and social media troll obedience are direct attacks on the essence of Yoruba beyond the scope of politics. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Yoruba conservatives have a duty to defend and protect Yoruba heritage. Attempt by political thugs and bullies masquerading as agents of change to destroy our essence as Yoruba will not be tolerated. Chief MKO Abiola paid the ultimate price in securing return of democracy to Nigeria, albeit in its infancy. Activities of obedience, including their protest to request military intervention and their quest to seek election annulment because their candidate's loss is anti-democratic. The group further said, the democratic process is guided by the judiciary and the electoral system is the crown jewel of democracy. A movement that doesn't trust the electoral process and did not believe in the judiciary system is calling for anarchy. Obedient movement is an anarchist, neoliberal, fascist movement that wanted to enthrone itself by attacking and destroying Yoruba great leaders and Yoruba unity, and their actions need to be condemned and rejected by all well-meaning Nigerians. The judiciary system exists for a purpose. Obedience should seek redress in court of law rather than discrediting the judiciary process. Attack on the judiciary is undermining the very guardrail of democracy, and this constitutes a call for insurrection. It is a self-entitled, grandiose, and authoritarian move. The group called on the newly elected government of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to use the events of the 2023 election as an example of the true nature of Nigeria. It said, like Professor Wole Soyinka, we do not know if we still believe in the Nigeria project, but we cannot stay quiet in the face of tyranny. That is the obedient movement. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.